Steven here. Today I just received the Seek Nano 200 and the Seek Nano 300 from Seek, and I'm going to unbox them, and we have a project to try them today. So let's get started and see how these work. So it looks like the Seek 300 and 200 come in the same size and style box. They have a different sticker on them. We've got the nifty instructions here. And we've got the Seek Nano 300 in red. The lens of the Nano 200 is black, though that little lens cover is black, so that's how you can differentiate the two. Pretty small, fits in your hand, a very small cube, a little bigger than a dice. You can buy an optional carrying case for them and an optional macro lens. I might be trying those out here shortly, but let's get started and see how the images look for these two. I'm going to start with the 200. Just some technical specifications. The Seek Nano 200 is a 200 by 150 pixel detector. That means it's got 30,000 thermal pixels. The Nano 300 is 300 by 240. That equates to 76,800 pixels, so more than 2.5 times the amount of pixels in the Seek Nano 300. That just equates to being able to detect smaller differences in dimensions. The other thing to consider is the field of view. For the 200 is 35 by 26, and the 300 is a 56 by 42. Basically, that means that when you plug in the Seek Nano 200, things are going to look a little more zoomed in than the 300. They're both physically the exact same size. They feel about the same. I cannot tell any differences there. Really, the only difference that you might notice between these two is the color of the front. Okay, so here's one of the first jobs I'm using with my new Seek Nano. I had a leak under my sink and I had to tear out the whole bottom because it was leaking down under the wood, and I was afraid of mold growing. I do see a couple spots where mold was starting to form, but what I wanted to do is cut out little areas from the side panel and see if there was any water or moisture still there. And what I expect with my Seek thermal camera is that if there was moisture still present, it would be cooler than the ambient air because of evaporative cooling from the water. So I've cut out a little area, and you can see that warm area right over there where I've cut the wood, but below it I don't see a cool area. Same for this corner over here. Let me switch to video mode, and then I can patch in real video for you guys to see what that would look like. Zooming into that area, I can see just that little warm outline where I cut with a saw, but below it I don't see anything cool, so that's good. I'm gonna actually get just a drip of water and smear it on the wood below, just so that you can have an idea of what that would look like. Initially, that might look a little warmer, but then after a little bit, it was warmer from my hand, you start to see that evaporative cooling effect. You can't see the water with the regular camera, but with a thermal camera, you can see that cool area down there. The cooler temperature with this color palette I have is the purple, and hotter is the yellow. I can change that color palette if I want to. Sometimes things can jump out at you when you use that color palette. And so you can see that cool area. And that's kind of what I'm looking for behind the wall. So that's a good sign. I'm gonna maybe do just a little more cutting, but I think the water's all dried up. So now I can just paint the area and patch it up. There's about $100 difference between the two. The 200, a little less resolution, so if you don't mind seeing the images a little more grainy, then the Seek 200 will probably be able to cover most of what you want to do in your home if you want to repair things or find hot spots it can do a pretty good job of that. If you want a little bit more resolution and a little finer detail to see some of the features around the hotspot and locating, go with the 300 for about $100 more. One thing I like about these little guys is their temperature range. They both can handle temperature ranges in terms of detection temperatures from -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 626 degrees Fahrenheit. That's -20 Celsius to 330 degrees Celsius. Well, the comparison for the FLIR one, which is an equivalent model for FLIR, the competitor, that temperature range only goes up to 248 degrees Fahrenheit or 128 degrees Celsius, unless you get the Pro model that goes up to 400 degrees Celsius, which is 720 degrees Fahrenheit. That will cost you around $400 though, so that's about $100 more than this guy here. Another thing I like about these models is that they do not have an internal battery. They use the battery of your phone. So if you keep these around for many years, you don't have to worry about replacing the battery that's inside them like some of the competitors. I've had this Seek Compact Pro model now for many years, and it's still going strong. I still use this one as well. If you want to see a video on comparing the Compact Pro to the Nanos, put some comments in the description and I'll do a comparison video of the advantage of the Compact Pro compared to the Nanos. So are they worth getting? My answer, from my opinion, is yes. I am very impressed with how they packed these little guys with technology and how the image quality is very good for such a small size and for such a good price. Please like this video, subscribe, and we'll show you more videos. I hope you enjoyed this and it was helpful. Please leave me some comments if you want to see more videos on similar content, or if there's other things I can show you about how to fix stuff around your house with thermal cameras, or anything for that matter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.